Hey everyone, it's Annalie here from Centered Connections. I'm here this week to deliver your weekly love guidance for Monday the 28th of August through to Sunday the 3rd of September. Now, before I get into this week's reading, I would really love to touch base with you and see how you are going after last week. I drew the card Free Yourself. And I really want to know, were there any patterns or fears or beliefs that you started to become conscious of that you revert back to on an unconscious level when you're on autopilot? And were you able to see how these patterns, beliefs, or fears have kept you stuck in truly living the life that you want or experiencing the love that you know that you deserve? Please let me know, reach out. I'd love to hear, because I know how hard it can be moving through all of this, and sometimes sharing it with someone who understands the journey and understands this path, because to some who aren't on this journey, it can be very foreign and they don't understand it. But there's something very healing in being able to be witnessed in what you're moving through, and having that person who can really just say, I get you, and not think that you're weird or just being crazy, because I know what that's like. So please feel free to reach out. Let me know how you're going. And if you have questions, let me know. I'd love to hear, what you've been through. So with that being said, I will get into this week's reading. Before I do though, I do want to share the last week for me has been really beautiful in terms of being able to receive some beautiful wisdom and lessons around unconditional love, and how my default setting was really stopping me from experiencing the love that I know that I deserve, and being able to become conscious of it, and being able to not judge myself or how could you do this? It's just knowing that it is a program, it is something that we've all been taught, conditioned, based on, the example our parents set, the societal values, societal conditioning, like not having a judgment around it, because we can make ourselves, it can turn very, very ugly quickly if we start to judge those actions or judge what we're doing. And the easiest way to come into compassion and love for yourself is really acceptance of where you're at, or acceptance of what is. And a lot of people, that's where the suffering happens, is that a lot of people want it to be another way or something different to what they're experiencing, which is why the suffering happens, is because we're not in acceptance of what is. So for me, acceptance has been a huge part of helping me really being conscious and having the awareness to be able to choose unconditional love, and unconditional love for myself, for my partner, and for others. And yeah, acceptance has been a huge, huge one for me this past week, because I could see the ways in which I wasn't accepting of others and accepting of myself. So let me know how you're going and what you're going through, and if it's something similar to what I've sort of said. So my intention is to connect with those of you who are going to be watching this video. What do we have in store for this week? So I had, this one wants to come out. All right, so I've got here, release your ex. the time has come to clear your energy. So this coming off the back of last week, which is free yourself, could have to do with releasing your ex. So sometimes we can form beliefs and form fears around what we've experienced in past relationships. So this goes for people who are in relationships and who are also single. When we haven't accepted, so acceptance is going to come through. When we haven't accepted what has happened in the past, it makes it very difficult for us to move on with our lives, and also having all of this energy and whatever you've experienced. Like, I'm getting the word resentments. So if you've experienced a lot of resentments in your past relationships that you haven't actually come to terms with or cleared, or in denial of, because I know for myself, I never wanted to admit to myself that I had resentments, because I had a judgment around what having resentments meant for me as a person, and I had the judgment that I was a bad person for having resentments, and which caused the suffering for myself, because I wasn't accepting what was or what is. The truth of it is, we're humans. We have been conditioned this way. And, it's something that we just need to learn and to accept, because the more that we resist it, the more it actually persists. So this energy of like freeing yourself is like, what beliefs and what patterns have you formed, or what fears have you formed in past relationships as a result of past relationships, and how are you bringing them into the present, or how are you bringing them into your present relationship, or how are they playing out in your present relationship? Because I know when I got together with Roman, everything that I was experiencing with Roman was all based on all my past relationships with men. It had nothing to do with him, yet it looked like it was from the outside. But when I really started to look into it and start to become conscious, I really started to see how a lot of the patterns and fears and beliefs that I had were from previous relationships. And we all have heartbreak. We've all been through heartbreak. But when we hold on to that, like hold on to those wounds, we bring them into the next relationship. And if we haven't extracted the wisdom or extracted the lessons from that particular relationship, because relationships are here to really show us like the ways in which we don't love ourselves, and relationships are a great tool for us to be able to see, in others, through others, what we haven't accepted within ourselves or loved within ourselves, and what we haven't healed within ourselves. And relationships are an awesome tool to be able to get a different perspective and seeing it play out on the outside, because we're so conditioned to look outside of ourselves when we never go within as a default setting. We're always looking outside to see who we can blame or who we can actually point the finger at and go, hey, you did this to me. But in saying that, that's where this new way of being is that we're not continually pointing the finger outside of us, because I did that for a very long time with all of my former partners, and I kept repeating that cycle, and I could never learn the lesson because I was always looking outside of me. So if you have a former partner that you are still, like, you still haven't resolved your feelings for, or resolved some deep wounds for. I think this week is really calling you to have a look in the ways in which this particular relationship still has a hold on you. Because if you still have this energy of this person that you're still attached to, you can't invite anyone else in, you know. So I've worked with a couple of women who have recently been going through this, is clearing their energy of any former relationships that they've had in which they've carried resentments, or you know, have been really wounded around, and being able to really release that energy, because you need to let go of the old in order to invite the new into your life and make space for that manifestation to really come to life in your life. So I would look and revisit, and it could be painful. It might be really painful. And something that I suggest to my one-on-one clients is to write a letter to your ex-partner, and to really start to say all the things, because in relationships, we're not really forthcoming with the truth and what we feel. And holding that's why resentments get built up, is because we hold on to that, and we use it as proof, as, you know, we can't talk, we can't say anything because of this, and this. And then we start to build resentments towards that person. And then before you know it, it's like you're in hate with this person. Like, hate is a strong word, but it feels like that. And it's important to really release all of these energies so that you can make space for the new that is going to be entering your life. When we hold on to this, it creates stagnant energy, and energy that's no longer serving you, which is why it's coming up for a reason, and why it's coming up after Free Yourself, because some of these unconscious patterns, especially when it comes to love, has to do with your ex-partner. So I would really suggest exploring that. And going back to the letter that I spoke about, is really starting to, like, write down everything that you would want to say to this person, or have wanted to say to this person, and getting everything out. You know, not judging what you have to say, just automatically writing, just letting all the words and feelings come through, and feeling them as well as you're writing them. And then opening yourself up and asking, you know, to see the gift in it, to see the gift in what you experience, to see where you're at, because all of these relationships have shaped you to be the person that you are. And sometimes we do have to experience what we don't want in order to know what we actually want, because a lot of us don't really know what we want. And sometimes we need to, like, experience the polar opposite, so that we can actually launch the desire of what we do want, and become more conscious about choosing that. So write everything out, you know, on a letter, and it can be hard, it can be confronting, and then you can burn it. Like, burning is a great way of being able to release that energy, and it feels good to be able to burn it. But I always tell my clients to finish the letter off with gratitude and thanks for the part they've played in your life and what they've taught you. Because if we don't learn the lesson, we will repeat it in another relationship. It'll just be a different person. It'll be the same lesson, but just a different person. So it's really important for us to really look and see what this relationship was trying to teach you. What was this person showing you about yourself that you needed to look at or needed to accept within you? And when you can get that, it's a very beautiful thing, because know that this person, you know, it's hard when on the outside it looks like it's not working for you. But really there's a divine plan that's working that you're not aware of, that is creating something even better for you. So have faith and trust that everything is working out, and you always attract the perfect partner for where you're at in order to evolve your soul and grow. And a lot of the times people don't realize that these relationships that come into your life are actually part of the growth process, so that you can accept and actually be open to the type of love that you deserve. So I feel like the unconscious patterns around your ex-partners and what beliefs and stories you have really been playing out in relationships, and really starting to see how that's actually stopping you, again, from living the life that you want and actually receiving and giving the love that you know that you deserve. Start to really have a look at those areas. And if you've got any questions about this, let me know. PM me, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. I also have one-on-one coaching, or one-on-one love coaching. So if this is something that interests you, I am offering complimentary sessions. So get in contact with me to see whether I can support you on your journey. And tag, share this with anyone you feel needs to hear it or will resonate with it. Otherwise, I will see you all next week for your next love guidance. Have a great week, guys. Be gentle with yourself. And yeah, I feel like this is all in line too with Mercury retrograde, because people from the past come back. So these could be past issues that need resolving and releasing. So yeah, very much in alignment with all of that's going on planetary wise. So check you guys later. Bye.